my fucking screen's big as fuck. Anyways, so we're going to go through pathologizing pain, which 90% of the time is people fucking complaining that they have pain and thinking that it means something, right? So thinking that they're injured or thinking that there's something really wrong with them, when in fact it is a normal amount of pain that you are undergoing following exercise. Anyways, I've had clients fake injuries. I've had clients tell me that they need surgery, like all kinds of fucking idiotic, dumb shit. And you're going to deal with this too. So I'm going to tell you how to fix it. So the problem is you're pathologizing normal discomfort, right? So you're interpreting aches, pain, stiffness, fatigue, whatever, as something's really wrong, right? My favorite is like people who are like my SI set of place. Point to your SI. And then they point to 4 inches above their SI, which is their lumbar spine. They're like, okay, well, that's not your SI. Or I need to decompress my spine, right? Like American chiropractors love to tell people that their spine needs to be consistently decompressed, completely ignoring the fact that spinal compression and loss of disc space is likely a normal response to heavily loading your spine on a consistent basis. And then knee tendonitis, it's like, okay, well, you move like shit, you didn't warm up. You're not injured, right? You might have some soreness in your knee, but you just need to learn how to squat. Oftentimes they avoid training or they end up in this like really weird psychotic like over-reliance on rehab, right? So it's like, oh, I have to see my chiropractor twice a week and I have to do this once a week and I have to do this once a week and I have to decompress my spine after training. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're fine. And the more that they engage in that behavior, the worse everything gets. So that's something that sucks. And the last one is going to be identity attachment to being broken. This one's really funny because essentially they're doing it to save their ego, right? It's like if I'm broken, if I don't perform well, it's because I'm broken, not because I suck at performing. So this is a little fucked up. I don't know why this looks so fucked up. Anyways, let me make this a little smaller. All right, that makes more sense. It still looks like shit, but we'll move on. Why does this happen, right? So we have cognitive biases, right? So you are thinking worst case scenario, right? It's like, oh, my back's sore, so that means I have a lumbar disc herniation. Or confirmation bias, right? So they're going to go to like a physical therapist who's going to tell them what they want to hear, or they're going to tell the physical therapist certain symptoms to lead their physical therapist into having a certain diagnosis. Completely devoid of like the diagnostic process, right? American physical therapists and clinicians in general love to hyperpathologize in general. They'll fucking take x-rays and they'll say you got to see them 3 times a week, all kinds of dumb shit. And then people fall for it. And low interoceptive confidence, right? So they are not understanding the stimuli or signals that their body has coming in. And then they think that they're hurt all the time. And then this next one is my favorite one, which is they're offloading responsibility through pathology, right? So they get so wrapped up in being broken that it gives them like a justifiable reason for underperforming, right? So when they don't perform, it's not that I didn't perform and I need to do better. When they don't underperform, it's like, oh, well, I have this problem. Like I've had clients legitimately make up injuries. Legitimately like make up injuries that didn't exist in order to get away from underperforming. And then they do this, and these are the clients who typically just make mistakes in general, and they do this to protect their ego. But in actuality, it makes them more of a fuck up. And so they're protecting their self-esteem by attributing failure to the body, not effort or capability. It's like, no, maybe you just suck. It's like, oh, well, I felt my SI off the ground. That's why I dropped it. It's like, maybe you're just a baby and can't push through hard stuff. And then also like the big thing is social media influence, right? So Instagram, physios promoting overdiagnosis, right? It's like corrective culture versus just getting better at the movement. One's like the corrective culture and the ability to load your body in an effective manner comes from getting better at squat, bench press, and deadlift, not from other shit. So the long-term consequences of this, you're going to have paralysis by analysis, you're going to have stagnation or regression, right? They're just either not going to get better or going to get worse. They have constant chasing of fixes, which leads to no consistent stimulus, right? If you change even your rehab stimulus all the time, it may not work, right? You have to progress one rehab stimulus over time. They're anxious all the time, and they hate training. You have an erosion of resilience from robustness overload, right? So they're going to freak out when they get over 85 or 90%. And then you turn into, as a coach, essentially someone who has to manage their emotions, right? Or they want you to diagnose their issues, which is exhausting. We do not get paid enough for that. And then reframing pain and building resilience, right? So you have to teach the difference between pain, injury, and adaptation. You have to normalize discomfort. You can't feed into it. Like I had a client who said that they had torn their labrum in their shoulder, and then I asked them what symptoms they were having, and none of the symptoms they told me were congruent with a labrum tear. And I was like, you don't have a labrum tear. You are displaying none of the symptoms of a labrum tear. You don't even display symptoms of a normal shoulder injury. You're just sore. Your shoulder just hurts because you lobar. So reframing via CBT, right? So this is going to dig to that deeper underlying root of like an ego thing. So you have to get them to be able to take the ego hit of not performing without flipping out, and use CBT for that. And then pain science, like having them understand that like not all pain means dysfunction or some kind of problem. And then your language matters, right? So never ever tell them that they have dysfunction or they're imbalanced or they have a faulty pattern. But if you have a client who struggles with faking injuries and having problems, the most important thing that you have to do in order to get them better is to tell them to shut the fuck up. Anyways, have a good day.